Welcome to the Surrey Experience.
Welcome to the Surrey Experience, episode 13. I should really stop numbering these fucking things. I'll just call it the Back to School Edition. Welcome to the Surrey Experience, Back to School Edition. Summer's finally over, and I couldn't be happier, man. Don't get me wrong, I love like the nice weather and all the booty shorts and shit, but these fucking weddings, man, they're just so relentless, just back to back to back. They like fucking ruin your summer, you know what I mean? Dude, some weeks this summer I had like 2 weddings like on the same fucking week. It's too much, man. But the beginning of September is like my favorite time of the year because all the weddings are over and football season is about to begin and like all these little wiener kids finally go back to school. I miss fucking high school, man. Those are like some of the best times of my life. Being an adult just fucking blows, you know? I used to love when like school was just starting because I always had to get a summer job. Like one summer I worked at like this fucking farm for like $8 an hour, and then my grade 11 summer I had to work in a fish factory, and it was like the shittiest job ever, man. You had to spend like 8 hours a day like gutting these fish, and they paid you like fucking minimum wage. Oh, it was the worst, dude. So I'd always be pumped when school started because I'd get to quit my job. The first day of school was always my favorite, right? Because you only had to go in for like an hour, and I would always try to like find a new chick, you know, try to like get her MSN Addy before all the other girls like tell her how big of a ganja you are. Maybe that was just me, but I was just such a fucked up kid in high school, man. You know, I got suspended 7 times in high school. 7. And they were always for like the dumbest fucking reasons. Like one time we had a substitute teacher, right? And I like shut the door, but the window was open and she thought I like slammed the door on her. So I got suspended for that. And then one time when I was in grade 12, right? This is the dumbest suspension ever. There was like a school dance, right? And like it was like an all white theme. Like you had to wear white clothes or whatever. And like since none of me and my idiot friends knew how to dance, we decided it'd be a good idea to like not go to the dance, but we'll go there before it starts and we'll like throw water balloons at all the chicks wearing white, right? So we load up all these water balloons, right? We have them in like a bucket, right? So we go to the school and all these chicks are like waiting in line and we just start launching water balloons at them, right? But the one I threw missed all the girls and it smoked my principal right in the head. And then they like fucking suspended me for a week. It was like the worst fucking luck ever, man. The worst was going home and like explaining that one to my dad, you know, like why I got suspended. He didn't even get mad. Like he couldn't comprehend like what the fuck I just did, right? Because back in his day, you weren't even allowed to talk to girls, let alone go to a dance with them, right? So this fucking guy, he immigrates to Canada to give his kids a better life, you know? And what does this moron son do? He starts throwing water balloons at the fucking girls. And he doesn't even land. It fucking hits the principal in the head. Could you imagine throwing a fucking water balloon at a principal back in India in like the 60s? They'd probably like beat you with a fucking stick or something. But yeah, man, after that day, my dad just, you know, he just went all in on my brother, right? he put the will under his name and shit. And my brother became like the heir to the throne after that suspension. And honestly, it was probably the right call, you know? But yeah, man, I would fucking do anything to be 17 again. No responsibilities, no bills. There's just so much bullshit you have to deal with as an adult, right? Like last week, I was driving home at night, right? Stone cold sober, didn't have a sip of alcohol, nothing, right? So I'm driving home and I'm driving on like 132nd Street, right? Which is, if you're not from Surrey, it's like this little dinky little wiener street, right? It's like a one road street both ways. So I'm driving and there's a fucking roadblock there. It's like, dude, why the fuck is there a roadblock on every street in Surrey? I don't get it. Just every night there's a roadblock in some random street. It's like, I don't know if this is their way to like fight crime or some shit, but it's fucking bullshit, dude. Right? So I see the roadblock and I drive up to it because I'm sober, right? I don't think anything of it. So I pull up and the officer's like, have you had anything to drink, sir? And I'm like, no, dude, I'm sober, right? And he's like, your car smells like marijuana. And I was like, yes, so what? Like, what's your point, you know? So the guy's like, okay, I'm going to need you to pull over to the side. And I'm just like, fuck, dude, right? So they call over this fucking asshole pig, right? And he starts doing all these tests on me and shit, right? He's like looking at my eyes with like a flashlight. And then they like make me walk in a straight line, which I completely nailed, right? And the guy's like, yep, he's definitely high. And I was just like, dude, what the fuck? No, I'm not, man. So whatever. They're like, we're going to suspend your license for 24 hours. And then they like towed my car. And they didn't just tow it to like Surrey. They towed it all the way to like buttfuck Langley. Which makes no sense. There's like a million tow yards in Surrey. Like, why can't you just fucking tow it close to my house, you know? Dude, getting a 24-hour is one thing. But getting a 24-hour when you're like stone cold sober is the biggest piss off in the world. Such fucking bullshit, man. Every fucking time I have some momentum in my life, God just smacks me in the face, you know? Am I like the only person in the world that's ever got a 24 hours for being sober? Please tell me this has happened to someone else, man. It would make me feel a lot better about myself. So these fucking assholes tow my ride for 24 hours, right? And of course, I have work the next day. So my only option was to like ask my dad. And I didn't want to do that because he already thinks I'm like a monumental fuck up. So I was like, you know what? There's a bus that will take me straight to work. I'll take the fucking bus. Dude, I haven't taken the bus since I was like fucking 15 years old, right? So I get on the bus and everyone on there is just miserable. They just look miserable as fuck. They look like their fucking dog died or some shit. I didn't see one smile the whole trip. But that like bus ride was like the best thing that ever happened to me. Because when I was sitting there miserable as fuck, hating my life, right? I had like an epiphany, you know? It's like, as long as I can go the rest of my life without taking a fucking bus, I'd like die a happy man, dude. I don't know how people do that. I don't know how they take the bus to work every day. I would rather fucking die than do that. So whatever, I had to go all the way to Langley. I pick up my fucking car, right? And then they gave me a ticket for reckless driving or whatever. So I go to ICBC to dispute it, right? So I dispute the fucking ticket. And then I asked the lady if I could dispute the 24-hour suspension. And she's like, no, you can't dispute that. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, you can only dispute it if you get busted for alcohol, not drugs. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? That doesn't make any sense. Oh my God, man. I wasn't even fucking high, dude. What the fuck? I should write like a fucking letter to Trudeau or some shit. But I'm done, man. I'm going to go clean after this weekend. Till like New Year's. No more fucking weed. No more drinking. No more drugs. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just work out hard in September and then like take steroids in October. Because every dude I know that's on steroids, like they like stay home every weekend. They don't drink. They like eat carrots and shit, right? I could use some of that in my life. But I haven't had a sip of alcohol or had any weed in the last 4 days. And I got to tell you, I don't know how these fucking Gianis do it, man. It's been the fucking lamest, most boring 4 days of my life. The only thing that got me through was that new HBO show. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's called The Night Of. It's fucking amazing, man. One of the best shows I've ever seen in my life, right? It's about this fucking Muslim kid. He's like Muslim Punjabi though, like Amir Khan style. And he bangs this white chick. And then when he wakes up the next day, she's like stabbed to death. And like, I don't want to do it, like no spoilers or anything, but you guys should definitely check it out, man. It was fucking amazing. But the whole time I was watching it, I just kept thinking like, this would be so much better if I was high. Quitting weed is going to be the hardest one, man. Because I'm blazing like my entire, like ever since I was 14. I'm just scared I'll like change. I'll be like a different person if I'm like sober all the time, you know? Start going to like the Gurdwara every Sunday. Maybe then some of that shit would make sense. I know, I'm going to hell, okay? I know, it's all good. I could already hear some like uptight Gianni writing me an email right now, right? Like an angry email. I don't want this to come off like I have a problem with Giannis, all right? Some of my best friends in the world are Giannis. I just can't stand those like uptight, fucking hardcore Giannis, man. The ones who think like they have all the answers to the world. You know what I mean? Then they try to like implement all their rules onto you. Right? I have one of those in my family, right? He's married to my fucking dipper cousin, and he's just the biggest douchebag ever. Like, if you have a beer around the guy, he'll just fucking, you know, he'll just come up to you and be like, you know, God says you're not supposed to drink alcohol. It's like, really? God called you and told you that? Go fuck yourself. This guy's the biggest fucking tool ever. Like, one time, my like little girl cousins, right? They're all like threading their eyebrows and shit like that. This fucking asshole goes up to him. He's like, you know, God says you're not supposed to remove your hair. It's like, dude, would you fucking calm down, dude? Get the fuck out of here, man. That's one I never understood. I still don't understand to this day. You know, they say you're not supposed to remove your hair, but all these fucking guys tie their turban so tight They all end up losing their hair anyway, which is essentially the same thing as cutting it, if not worse. At least when I cut my hair, it fucking grows back. You know what I mean? It's just like, dude, you ever seen a Giannis without his turban on? They look like fucking George Costanza, man. They're all like fucking bald and shit. You know, it just doesn't make sense. That's removing your hair. You just removed your hair. I know you didn't do it directly, but you technically still removed your hair. It just doesn't add up, man. If God doesn't want you to remove your hair, then why does every fucking man start balding when they hit their 30s, you know? I didn't go to no fancy school or nothing, but it seems to me like God does want you to remove your hair. And I understand that people keep a turban to identify themselves as Sikh, and I appreciate that. I really do. But could you at least let these little girls shave their fucking mustaches off? I should probably change the subject before like someone puts a hit on me or something. Luckily, no one knows who the fuck I am. I'm just fucking around, people. But I think I raised some valid points, though. Anyways, I want to thank everyone for all the love I got for that little Bebop Boy rant thing I did. I had not in a million years did I expect it to go like semi-viral, you know. I'm used to like 1,000 people listening to my shit, not that many people, but I want to thank all the guys that shared it, aka amazing. I still can't believe he shared that on his Facebook page. I'm still nerding out about that. Giannis on Snapchat, DJ Intense. I got all these like likes and comments, and like people were sending me emails and like DMs. People telling me that they listen to my podcast on the treadmill. That shit means the world to me, man. So I really, really appreciate that. And for all the love I got just as much hate. You make one little terrorist joke, everyone's balls start flying. I don't get it, man. If you don't like the podcast, if you don't like what I'm saying, just don't listen to it. No one's putting a fucking gun to your head, you know? I had this one fat brown girl, right? Like obese brown girl, like DM me, like, your language is so offensive and you should be ashamed for yourself. And like she started talking about my mom, like your mom raised a fucking like bad kid and shit. It's like, dude, fuck you, man. Who the fuck are you? Like, why don't you lose like 70 pounds before you go doling out advice? Oh man, is there anything worse than a fucking fat brown girl? Like an obese brown girl? I love the like chubby brown girls are my favorite, right? I get along with them the greatest because they're more down to earth, right? And then the skinny brown girls, they're cool, but some of them are a little high maintenance. But I guess that's not necessarily a bad thing. But these fucking like obese brown girls, man, like over 230 pounds, just the biggest fucking assholes ever, man. Just constant bitch face, you know? You never see a jolly like brown fat girl. Okay, I think I pissed off enough people on this episode. But I swear to God, man, this podcast is not for squares. It's strictly for like animals, you know? It's for all the fucking guys that jalous it every weekend. It's for all the fucking girls that go to a wedding and get their like cousins to bring them drinks to the table. It's for people that aren't easily offended. So if you're an uptight little bitch, please do not listen to my podcast. Do not follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and you'll never know I even fucking exist. But anyways, I just want to wish everyone a good weekend. I hope you guys all have a great weekend. Rip it up. I'm actually psyched for this weekend because I got my last wedding of the summer. My boy's getting married and football season starting. And then there's UFC 203, which is on Saturday night, and the debut is CM Punk. I keep forgetting, man. I should probably plug this. I run, if there's any of you guys that are like hardcore UFC or MMA fans, follow me at Parlay Wolf on Instagram and Parlay Wolf on Twitter. I run one of the biggest UFC handicapping sites, and I'm going to be live tweeting the entire UFC card this Saturday, so please follow me there. I could fucking use some help with that too, man. If there's any like MMA fans that want to like, you know, start writing for my website or something, I could really use your help right now because I'm taking on way too much shit, man. With my fucking day job, Parlay Wolf, this fucking podcast, my stand-up, there's not enough time in the day, so I could really use some help, man. If there's any MMA fans, or even if you want to write for the Surrey Experience. So if you would like to join Parlay Wolf or the Surrey Experience, if you would like to be paid in marijuana, please email me at thesurreyexperience.com because I could really use your fucking help. So I just want everyone to have a good weekend. And in honor of the summer coming to an end, I'm going to end this podcast with the anthem of the summer, produced by the greatest fucking DJ in the universe, my boy, Intense. I'll talk to you guys next week.
Now whatever you at, babe, you can make the whole room stare. But you know that my favorite is when you're rocking that this is way.
ਉਹ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਸੂਟ ਸੂਟ ਕਰਦਾ, ਉਹ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਸੂਟ ਸੂਟ ਕਰਦਾ, ਸੂਟ ਕਰਦਾ, ਤੈਨੂੰ ਸੂਟ ਸੂਟ ਕਰਦਾ। ਉਹ ਨੀ ਤੂੰ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਪੰਜਾਬਣ, ਲੱਗਦੀ ਪਟੋਲਾ, ਲੱਗੇ ਨੀ ਤੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਖ ਨੀ, ਤੈਨੂੰ ਸੂਟ ਸੂਟ ਕਰਦਾ। ਉਹ ਨੀ ਤੂੰ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਪੰਜਾਬਣ, ਲੱਗਦੀ ਪਟੋਲਾ, ਲੱਗੇ ਨੀ ਤੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਖ ਨੀ, ਤੈਨੂੰ ਸੂਟ ਸੂਟ ਕਰਦਾ। ਉਹ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਸੂਟ ਸੂਟ ਕਰਦਾ।